the presentation is being recorded from this point on, but you don't need to start again, of course. That's
No, yeah, no, I was only kidding. But but basically what I have explained so far is the story of Mike. That you have the slides, yeah, and it's a story that it is true. That is maybe too good to be true. Is what we were saying, yeah. Um, the reality is that despite the experience, the research, and the plan that you saw, Mike slipped up. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is help Mike with the things that he didn't know. For example, I'm going to give you some insights here. Yeah, because to be honest, this is going to be more a master class than a conversation between us, and I'm very sorry about that because we don't have time. But I'm going to try to at least explain you all the problems that you can see here. But for example, one of the biggest ones that you can see is that we don't know what kind of team Mike has. Yeah. So nobody invests on a person. An investor always invests on a team to start. Yeah. And also, we never saw Mike talking to real people, for example, to potential customers. Yeah. How he validated the idea. Yeah. And also, we will talk about the business plan. The business plan is a really complex document. I explain you that it's around 30, 40 pages in which you explain things as, for example, how many employees you're going to have in 5 years. Yeah. But he didn't speak about, for example, a concept that is called value proposition. What is the reason why a customer is going to acquire Mike's products instead of all the other alternatives that you can find already available in the market? Yeah. So we saw several stuff that it is true. A few years ago, you can see that that they were working in several places in Silicon Valley, for example. But right now, this story is not happening anymore. But anyway, if you want to watch Terano's story in Netflix, that it was about a girl who said that with only a drop of blood, she was able to identify any disease that you could have. Yeah. We knew that that was a bluff, that was not true. Yeah. But anyway, let's talk a bit about this. Yeah. Of course, no business plan survives the first customer contact. Yeah. Mike Tyson used to say that everybody has a plan until you receive the first punch in your face. Yeah. So in fact, there is a really good book that is called Getting to Plan B. Why is it called Getting to Plan B? Because in business, plan A never works. Yeah? So that's the reason why no business plan survives the first customer contact. And as you saw in this story, Mike never spoke with a potential customer. Yeah, you change a lot of stuff when you start understanding what is the real problem that a customer has. Yeah, so sticking to a planning document works for a known future. But for example, in your case, that you're working in innovation, when you are creating new ways to do things, yeah, you are closer to the context of a startup. Yeah. And sticking to a planning document never works, is what I can tell you. We need to go to something easier to understand that I'm going to explain. That is the business model. But I will try to explain that in a few moments. Of course, we start with a business idea. Yeah. And one thing that I really want to tell you is that you need to share the idea with others. Yeah. Why is that? Because what is the value of an idea? I can tell you that the value of an idea is 0. Yeah. Two people can have the same idea. Yeah. For example, I never have signed an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, when somebody comes to my office to tell me the idea, and then I help them. Why is that? Because every month we receive around 200 new ideas. Some of them are really, really similar. Yeah. And some of these entrepreneurs will success, and others no. No. And why is that? What is the difference? The way that they execute. Yeah. If I sign an NDA, for example, every time that a startup comes with the idea of using drones to see if a crop field is well irrigated, I couldn't work. This is for example, an app to know to use artificial intelligence to detect free slots to park in a city. Yeah, this idea. This is one of the greatest hits of the ideas that we receive every week or every month here. Yeah, in the university. So, are you afraid of business idea thieves? So I always put this story. Yeah. Imagine that you have a pizza. If somebody steals my pizza, I don't have dinner anymore. Yeah. But if somebody steals my business idea, it's okay. he has the business idea and I have the business idea. And the one that will succeed will be the one who executes better with the best team and all that. Yeah. So of course, don't worry about sharing the business opportunity that you have detected. Of course, if you have been researching and you have something that it could be protected by intellectual property, yeah, of course, you need to make sure that you are not communicating the parts that you will put in that patent. Yeah. But explaining the need, the business idea that you have is perfectly fine. You will find lots of people that will help you with the idea. So long story short, don't share your patents, share your ideas. Okay. That is perfectly fine. Yeah, and as I told you, ideas are for free. You can find lots of sources. I have put several here, where you can find ideas of things that are working in other places that you can apply in where you live, for example. Well, in Czech Republic, they are using train companies announce that they will use carriages only for single people. Yeah, so it's interesting. Yeah, something that we could implement. You have cool business ideas as well, or even in crowdfundings. When you publish your idea in a crowdfunding campaign, that it's people that will buy your product before your product exists. You are also communicating your idea before you have something. Yeah. So of course somebody could steal your idea. Yeah. But as you see, even with that risk, crowdfunding campaigns, as for example Kickstarter, are working quite fine right now. Yeah. Anyway, conclusions from this: ideas have no value, are free. People will help you to transform your idea into something more valuable. And there are only two kinds of people, yeah, who give excuses and entrepreneurs. So I hope that you find yourself in the group of entrepreneurs. Yeah. But anyway, and another definition that I need you to understand before I start with all the methodologies, that a startup is not a small company. Yeah, this is very important. So what the heck is a startup? Yeah. So a startup, according to Steve Lang, yeah, from Stanford, is a temporary organization designed to search for a repeatable and scalable business model. Yeah. So it's a temporary organization. They are using innovation to look for a new model to do things in a different way. Yeah. Eric Ries, that is the creator of lean startup methodologies, he said that a startup is a human institution designed to create new products or services under conditions of extreme uncertainty. Yeah, these two definitions are more or less connected. Yeah, but at the end, what he wants to say is that the main difference between a startup and a company is that the startup is looking for a business model. They are looking for a new model that works in the real world, but it has never been tested before. So it's a new way to satisfy a human need, for example. Yeah. And a company is executing an already validated business model. This is important because the way that a startup is managed and the way that a company is managed is totally different. It's completely different. The startup is looking for the business model. So what they will try to do is small experiments to test if the idea works in real world or not, trying to apply this thing that I'm going to tell you. Try to fail as fast and cheap as you can. Yeah. So you will do an experiment using only a few resources of money and time in order to obtain validated information. Yeah. But the company knows that the model works. Yeah. So as the company knows that the model works, they invest aggressively a lot of money in scaling that model because they know that they work. Yeah. So the startup only use a few resources. They try to fail really cheap, cheap experiments to know if the model works. And the company, as they know that the model works, they scale the model, putting a lot of money in scaling that. Yeah. And right now, in your case, as you are creating new innovations, yeah, of course, you are closer to the model of a startup right now. Yeah. But anyway, what is the main goal for a startup? To stop being a startup and to become a successful company. Yeah. So a startup is just a period in the life of a company in which they are trying to validate a business model. Well, to define and validate a business model. Yeah. And how we do that? Yeah. So instead of thinking of a report, of a business plan that is like 30, 40 pages in which we explain things as, for example, how many employees we will have in 5 years. Yeah. we're going to focus on something that you can define only on a piece of paper. You only need a piece of paper to do the first step. Yeah. That is what we will call the business model. Why is called business model? Why is called model? Because it's a theoretical model. It's like, for example, when scientists guys were defining the concept of an atom, yeah, they created the first model. Well, Democritus in the ancient Greeks, he was saying that it was something that it was not possible to split, to divide, yeah. Then we have Rutherford, then we have Bohr, then we have several models, yeah, to define the atom, yeah. So this is basically the same. We will define what we think that it will work in real life. Of course, creating something that works in a piece of paper is not simple, it's not easy, but it's much easier than create something that works in the real world. So of course, what we write in this piece of paper will be a set of assumptions that we need to validate in the real world, yeah? And for that, of course, we need to get out of our comfort zone, we need to get out of the building, and to try all these, to validate all these assumptions with real people, with real customers. If everything goes fine, the model is validated, and we can change our management model from a startup to company, and we try to invest aggressively in order to scale that model. Yeah. But if we discover with this thing that I told you of failing fast and cheap, if we discover that this doesn't work, it's perfectly fine. The only thing that we need to do is to pivot, to change something from the model, and to start again the process. Yeah. This is the way. This is the mindset. This is the right mindset for entrepreneurs. Yeah. And this is something that I really needed to explain you before we start with the methodologies. Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk. Well, so far, are you more or less following me? Yeah, it's more or less clear. Okay, fantastic. So how can we define this business model? How can we define this paper? Yeah. So Alexander Osterwalder described the model, the business model, as the way how of an organization creates a value, delivers value, and captures value. What is that? We create a product. This product needs to be loved and acquired and paid by a customer, and they need to give us something in return that is going to be more than love, is going to be money as well. Yeah. So we create something, we deliver that something to someone, and we capture some value from that as well. That, of course, in the case of a company, we're talking about money. Yeah. So this is the way that he described this business model. And he created this canvas that you can see here, in which instead of talking about some stuff that is not core to us at the moment, yeah, he only focused in 9 key elements that you need to define when you want to transform your innovation into something that it could work in a business. Yeah. So as you see, we have, for example, the customer segments. I always like to start thinking about a collective, some people that have a problem and that we can solve it thanks to our know-how, to our product, to our service, to our proposal. Yeah. So the first of all is to define who are we going to help. Yeah. Of course, maybe we could help everybody. Yeah. But let's focus on only a customer segment, and I will give you some insights about that. Yeah. Then we need to define the value proposition. That is the quantified reason why somebody is going to buy our product or services instead of all the other alternatives that you can find in the market. Yeah. So it is because you are cheaper than the alternative. It's because it's easier to use thanks to you. Yeah. It is because it's more effective. How much effective, how much cheaper, whatever. Yeah. Try to calculate that. And that's your value proposition. It's the quantified reason why people are going to buy your products or services instead of all the other alternatives. Yeah. That's the value proposition. And remember, Steve Jobs used to say that people buy whys, not whats. Yeah. So that's important. That is not only defining a product, it's defining the reason why somebody is going to buy it. Yeah. Then we need to define all the channels, advertising channels, delivery channels, purchase channels. How are they going to buy the product as well? After sales channels, are they going to you are going to give them any extra service, maintenance, whatever after acquiring the product? Then what kind of relationships you are going to establish with your customers as well? Yeah. And all that is going to give you money. Yeah, because they're going to pay for that, for that product, whatever, or for those services. Yeah. Then we have some resources that make us special. Maybe you have a patent, a software, a great team, yeah, a contract with somebody, your university supporting you, yeah. So all that is all the resources that you have to build this, yeah. So you will have some activities that they will be done by you, yeah. And then there will be other activities that are maybe not so core for your business that will be done by your partners, yeah. So as you see, you have some resources, some activities that are carried out by you, and then some other activities that can be outsourced to your partners, yeah. That is what you define here. But of course, having that big team, having that patent, doing those activities, contracting your partners, yeah, those has a cost, yeah, a cost structure. And I'm going to give you the key in order to create successful business. The only thing that you need to do is that the revenues are higher than the cost. Yeah, of course. Yeah, as you can imagine. Yeah, it's. I know that it's a bit dumb, but at the same time, sometimes we forget about that. Yeah, I have helped many startups, and many times they forget about that. Yeah. Okay, well, you have some models here. Yeah, I don't have a lot of time to explain you this, but you here you can see some examples. This is a stupid example, but it's really academical. Yeah, that is about how Santa Claus model works. Yeah, and as you see, so we have customer segments, all the good kids, all the good children. Yeah, value proposition. If Santa Claus were in a room with investors, he could say that 99 that people, children with toys are 99% happier than children without toys. Yeah, that would be the value proposition. Yeah, it would be this happiness that a toy gives you. Yeah, that a present gives you. Well, in channels, as you see, we highlighted the distribution channel, but it is true that we should explain all the channels that are in the that are in the business. We should talk about advertising, distribution, purchase, and after sales. Yeah, customer relationships. That is the letter. Revenue streams. In Spain, we put a great cakes that are called polvorones, but in this case, as you see, is milk and biscuits. Yeah. Then the key resources that we have, that is this reindeer with the GPS integrated in the nose and all that, yeah. And the key activities, that is what we do better than anyone, yeah. Basically, Santa Claus is a really fast delivery company, yeah. He's not going to subcontract this to anyone, yeah. But as you see, the way that he receives the letter is with a partner that is the national shipping companies that you can find in there. Yeah. About the cost structure, some people believe that it's parents. Yeah. But in my case, as I still believe in magic and Harry Potter, let's say that the cost structure is something that we don't know. Yeah. You have another example that I put you here about Nespresso. But for example, here in this case, as you see, what I wanted to highlight from this is that the revenues, as you see, that is the capsules and the machines. You can see that the back from the capsules is bigger. Is of course because that revenue stream is also bigger than the machines. Yeah. As you see, the strategic partners are the ones who build the machines. Yeah, they don't do machines. But as you see, if the key resources is having these important actors doing George Clooney doing the promotion, the fabs, the logistics, the costs are exactly the cost of having George Clooney, the cost of having this fabrication, the cost of having the patents, as you can see, that is the example. Yeah. Okay. So far, so you understand at the end the process that we need to define something that is simple to understand. That is the pace, this business model. Yeah. Okay. In your case, guys, that you are excellent researchers and that you know how technology works, yeah, the way that you understand this is a bit different compared to other people that also create ideas, because there's two ways to do this. Yeah, the first one is called market pool. What is a market pool? Yeah, a market pool is when somebody finds out that there is a problem in the market, there is a need in the market, and they try to create a solution for that market. Yeah. But usually in your case, it's a bit different. It's that you are good with technology. You have been researching for years, for example, yeah, and you have something that it could have a big value for market or not. But you need to find the place where your technology could be relevant for society. Yeah. So as you see, market pool is that I find a need in the market, I build something for that. And technology push is that I'm good with, I have been researching with drones in the last 10 years. I'm a good computer programmer. Yeah. So what can I do with these skills to solve a problem from society. Yeah, it's different. You are pushing technology into the market, as you see. Yeah, what is better? So to be honest, market pools works more times that technology pushes. Why is that? Because market pool is created to solve a problem that society already has. Yeah, but what I can tell you is that when a technology push works, you can become millionaire or you can have like a sustainable success, yeah, during time, because as you are the owner of that technology, yeah, you are putting a big barrier to other players that would like to access to that market. Yeah, so it's like market pool works more times, but technology push works better. So when you find something based on technology, based on knowledge that you can implement in a market, your success is more likely, and the sustainability of that success is more likely than, of course, any market pool that you can imagine. Yeah, that's the reason why this presentation is going to be how you can implement this business model, yeah, in a technology push. Yeah, and so how can we work with that? So first of all, as I explained you, we need to start defining the customer segments. Well, so far, are you following me? Yeah, I need to know. Okay. Yeah. So let's talk
For
about
me,
customer
yes.
segments.
I don't know. They're in the room.
Yeah, yeah. I saw some fingers there. Yeah. So of course, let me start with this. You know, I always will start from zero and then I will go to more complex. Yeah. So first of all, we need to define a segment. But when we define a segment, it needs to be homogeneous. What I mean with that is that in a segment of people, of customers, we find similar people thinking of similar products. Yeah. For example, imagine that you have your technology and you talk to an investor, and the investor asks you a simple question as, for example, what is the price of your product? And you say, it depends. Yeah, it's a valid answer, but it's a wrong answer as well. How is that? Because you will need to say something as, for my customer segment, they need this product and that's the price. Yeah, because in a customer segment, you talk about similar people thinking of similar products. Yeah, even that, of course, your technology could be applied to many different customer segments with different shapes and with different prices. Yeah, but you focus on a customer segment, at least to start. Yeah. Okay. Let me put you an example. Imagine that I don't know that Instagram exists. Yeah, and I create an app to share pictures. Yeah. So the first thing that I could do, and this is the first exercise that you should do as well, is to do a brainstorming of potential customers that could be interested in my technology, in my solution, in my idea. Yeah. So I want to create an app for photographers. Yeah. So of course it could be for professional photographers. It could be for web designers that, for example, this could be like a repository of pictures that I can use when I design a web, for example. It could be for architects with all my portfolio of buildings that I have done. It could be for medical photography. Imagine an Instagram only for doctors, yeah, that they can share their pictures and you can see how a disease looks like, things like that. It could be for weddings as well, as you see. It could be also for babies that imagine this idea already exists, but with the pandemics that you were not, your family was not allowed to go to the hospital to meet the baby. So imagine that you could do like a single place where you can find photos of the baby. You just share the link and you forget about visits and everything. Yeah. Or it could be even for people who takes selfies in the bathroom. Yeah. But the purpose, it will be totally different. At the same time, maybe it will be the same technology. Yeah. You will change some stuff, but it will be the same technology. Yeah. This is a brainstorming and it's the first step. So first step, let's create a brainstorming of potential customer segments that could be interested in my idea. Yeah. Of course, the next question will be which one is the best one to start. Yeah. I will put you another example. Yeah. I was talking to some researchers a few years ago that they created Tocano, that is an ink-free printer. It's a printer that doesn't need ink to work. Amazing. Yeah. So you don't need to pay ink. You know, ink is super expensive. Yeah. Some people say that printers are usually cheap, yeah, but ink looks like it's made from blood from unicorns, yeah, because it's super expensive, yeah. So they created this printer that doesn't require ink to work, yeah, and it was not even a special paper or something, yeah. So what was the next step that we did when they came with this idea? Of course, as you can imagine, they were doing research in this idea for at least 3-4 years. Yeah, that's having the technology was an incredible key resource. Yeah, but what it would be the best customer to start? So the first thing that we did was, of course, as you can imagine, the first thing that we did was a brainstorming, and we started doing what I'm going to show you. Let me see if I can do it. Let me see if this works. Yeah. Let me see. If this doesn't work, it's okay. Don't worry. But I like to share a Blackboard with you guys. Yeah, it works now. So I show you Tocano, yeah? Tocano, that is this ink-free printer. So the first thing that they did, as you can imagine, of course, was to try to define all the potential customer segments that could be interested. Yeah, and we could do that all together. In fact, when you have your idea, and as I told you that you need to share it with others, yeah, I would highly recommend you to talk to others and to share and to give them the opportunity to give you customer segments so that you don't live in your box. Yeah. So, for example, who could be interested? So, of course, consumers in general. Yeah, we could buy this kind of. I'm sharing the screen. Yeah, you can see my notebook. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, consumers in general. We could talk about universities that they need to print a lot of stuff. Yeah, we could talk, of course, about book printers. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so they did this kind of brainstorming. We could talk also about, I don't know. We could talk about offices in general. Yeah, newspaper printers as well. Yeah, and why not even architects? Yeah, why not? I don't. It's just an idea of people who could need this product. Yeah. So my first question: it will be the same product for everyone? No, of course not, because as a consumer, mine will be a small one. Yeah. For a book printer, it will be an industrial one. Yeah. For an architect, it will be like a plotter. Yeah. So what I want to tell you is that it won't be the same product, but it will be based in the same research and the same technology. So of course, it will be different prices. Yeah, as you can imagine. But it will be the same price, the same size, the same product for each one of the customer segments, as I already explained. Yeah. So that would be the first step that we need to do. It's more or less clear.
Yes.
Now I want you to do my job. Yeah. So we're going to do my job. So look, one of my first entrepreneurs was a guy who wanted to clean boats. Yeah. And in fact, he developed special soaps to be used on the deck of a boat. Yeah. So he was a chemical engineer. Yeah. And he created this company called Boatstar. Yeah. And the first thing that he told me was, how can I start? Because I could go for boat owners. Yeah. So B2C. B2C is business to consumer, directly to consumers. So boat owners. I could go to ship rental companies. As ship rental companies, it's the difference is that a boat owner, it's one customer, they have one boat. Yeah. A ship rental company is basically one customer, they have around 10 boats, and you need to clean the 10, of course. Yeah. A nautic club, that it would be, for example, one customer, maybe 1,000 boats that they are in the nautic club. Yeah. To have the nautic club as your customer. And maintenance companies, you know, it could be like a partner as well, and they could become somehow your customers as well. Yeah. So that was the first question that he asked me. So he told me, where should I start? Yeah. This is my job. Yeah. And that's a question for you as well. If you had to decide one of these, what would you decide to start with? With boat owners, ship rental companies, nautic clubs? That's my job. You know, this is the typical question that I have. Yeah. Would you like to say something here before I continue so that I can drink water?
Start with boat owners.
Why, if I can ask?
Because you can validate if it's working.
Yeah, okay, that's a really good answer. Is there anybody here that they will start with something different? No? All of you agree in starting with boat owners, B2C?
It's a startup, so you need to fail fast, right? So it's
I think it's easier to fail with a bigger pool. So start bigger, go with nautic clubs.
Yeah,
Just to this.
yeah, it's great, guys. 5.
Ambitious guy.
No, yeah, no, it's the real thing is that the guy, the first thing that he told me was, let's start with nautic class. Why not? Yeah. And I said, okay, maybe, if the nautic club becomes your customer, do you have task for enough to clean 1,000 boats in a day? Yeah. So that was the reason why I discarded. But he said, it's okay. If they contract me, I will find the resources. Yeah. And the first thing that he discovered in the nautic club is that the sailors that were working there were already giving this service in a black market. Yeah. So they were cleaning the boats for a lot of money. Yeah. But they were not doing a great job. So this was one of the things that he discovered that maybe was not a good idea, because going to them is like going to competitors to ask for their customers. Yeah. Ship rental companies look also like the middle option. So that was the next step that he decided to do. Yeah? So with ship rental companies, he went there and he said, I would like to clean your boats. And the first question that the ship rental companies asked them was, how many boats have you cleaned before? And he said, well, no one. Yeah. So they didn't want. What they told him was, when you have like 500 boats in the B2C segment, come again to me and maybe I will give you the opportunity. So the only option that he had to start was boat owners, as you said. Yeah. This is not the general rule. The general rule is not starting with B2C and then go to B2B. Yeah. For example, Tocano, the one that I explained you before, the one with the printer, they started directly with a distributor. Yeah, they were directly selling the product with big distributors. Yeah, so that's B2B. So it depends on a lot of factors that we need to analyze. But as you see, sometimes it makes more sense to start in B2C, and sometimes it makes more sense to start in B2B. Yeah, but thank you for playing. Yeah, with me. As you see, the ones who said boat owners is what it work in real life. Yeah, the ones who said nautic class, you have the mindset of the entrepreneur who came to me, but at the end he discovered that he needed to start to boat owners. So to be honest, the correct answer was boat owners in this specific case. Yeah. Okay. I told you that sometimes it is better to start B2C and sometimes it's better to start B2B. But how can I know? Yeah. So let's have a scientific mindset again. Yeah. Is there any way that I could know what is the best sector to start? Yeah. So let's define what is the best sector to start. Yeah. Let's define that question, and then I will tell you how you can do this. Yeah. So of course, what you should aim is for TGDIJYCMN. Yeah. This is something that Ken Morse from the MIT said. Yeah. That this is translated into total global domination in your chosen market needs. So the way that this works is that you choose a customer segment. Yeah, you conquer that customer segment and then you scale, but you start in the customer segment. Yeah, and where to start? So of course you have limited resources. You need to pick only one segment to conquer first. You establish credibility and then expand to other segments. Yeah, and this segment is called beachhead market. Yeah, that it needs to be small enough to become a significant player. So in that 2 or 3 years, you can have like an important market share there. Yeah, 30, 40%, whatever. But at the same time, it needs to be big enough in order that you can generate money, you can generate cash. Because without cash, you die. Yeah. So that's the reason why it needs to be small enough so you are relevant, but at the same time, it needs to be big in order that you generate cash. Yeah. And how is the way that scientists guys work with this? So you analyze thousands and thousands of success cases, yeah, and you try to replicate them, yeah. So what they discover is that the startups that work, yeah, they have this criteria that you can see here, yeah. So the first one is that if you can identify the buyer, yeah. Imagine, yeah, I'm going to explain all the questions, yeah. You need to identify the buyer. Is there any guy you can you identify in that sector who is the guy who takes the decision? Imagine, for example, that you need to sell something to a water treatment plant. Yeah, who takes the decision? Who makes the decision of buying something in the water treatment plant? Yeah, so you have this decision-making unit. This is from one guy from the MIT that explaining in a really good way. That, for example, you have the guy who makes the decision. You have some guy in the company that is in love of your technology that will try to convince the economic buyer, but he doesn't make the decision. You have some influencers, or you have the guy who makes the rules. Yeah, you have some people in the organization who has veto power, who says no, and that's it. Example, if I want to buy a new motorbike, my wife has veto power. She could say no, and that's it, you know? So you need to understand who makes part in the decision making of buying that thing. If it is too complex, yeah, you will do this kind of table as you see. And if it is too complex, you will put one in the table, yeah? As you see, I'm giving you tools to work with that, yeah? So you will need to choose the big market. So you will put here several customer segments that you detected in the brainstorming, and you will put a value to each one of the question. Yeah. So if it is too complex, the decision making unit, you will put 1 or 2. Yeah. If it is easier because there's not so many people, or you have direct access to the one who makes the decision, you can put 5. Yeah, as you see. You understand the way that we're going to do, of course, because you are smart people. I know that. Yeah. Then you have well-funded people. Yeah. What is that? Apparently, startups work better if they start with customer segments that they have money, that they have power of acquiring stuff. Yeah. This is a bit like traveling in an airplane. Yeah. And imagine that I'm traveling. I have a small daughter. Yeah. She's 7 years old now. If I'm traveling with her and the cockpit loses pressure and I have the oxygen mask, who is the one that needs to put the oxygen mask first? I put the oxygen mask to the baby, or I put the oxygen mask to myself? So I don't know if you know that. Yeah, tell me. Yeah, first you put it in yourself, and then you put it to the baby. And I could say, no, but I really want to have impact in this in this customer segment that they don't have so much money. Yeah. So general rule says that first you need to save yourself before you can save others. So it's better to start in a premium segment, get money from them, and then you go to other segments with a not so expensive product. Yeah. Then, of course, buying reason. If they have a reason to buy your product or not. If they have a reason, a compelling reason to buy your product, of course, it's more likely that they will buy your product. If they are now screwed with the alternatives and you are the painkiller, of course, it's more likely that they will buy it from you. Accessible. How easy is to get the first customer then? Yeah. Then we have COCA and LTV. COCA is the cost of customer acquisition. Is okay. Now that I'm in the market, how easy is to get a new customer? How much I need to spend in marketing in order to conquer a new customer there? I put the definitions in the presentation, so don't worry, you will see COCA and LTV. LTV is how much money I can obtain from a single customer. Yeah, of course, as you can imagine, the Nautic Club, the LTV, it was really big. The LTV from a rental company, it was also bigger than the one that is a consumer. Yeah. So in terms of LTV, the Nautic Club was the best option. Yeah, because I will put the 5 to the Nautic Club, 3 to the rental company, and 1 to the B2C. Yeah. Well, then you have whole product as well. It's like, can you give a whole solution on, or they need to buy other stuff? So for some sectors, maybe it will be enough with your product, but for other sectors, they will need to buy your product and other stuff. Yeah. Competitors. If it's only a few competitors, you put 5. If there's a lot of competitors, you put 1. If there's no competitors at all, it is that you haven't understood what is a market. Yeah. Because a competitor is not someone developing the same product or service that you do. A competitor is any alternative solution to the same problem. If there's no competitors, there's no problem. Yeah, because there's nobody trying to solve that problem. Yeah, so there's no problem at all. Yeah, so few competitors, you put 5. Lot of competitors, you put 1. Yeah. Next segment. If you conquer that segment, that will give you credibility to jump to the next one. So, for example, as I already explained, if I conquer the B2C with the boats, I will go to the shipping, to the rental companies, and if I told them that I'm already cleaning 500 boats from the Valencian shore, it is more likely that I will have the credibility to be contracted by them. Yeah. Then founder's dream. If you have your own dreams as a founder, helping that customer segment also helps you in your personal dreams. Yeah. And last but not least, do you like the customer? Because if you don't like the customer, I can tell you that it's not likely that you're going to be able to sell them anybody. You need to like that customer. Yeah. You need to at least care about the problems that they have. Yeah. So with that, we have this table. And of course, it looks like that the one that has the highest value, it will be the best one to start. Yeah. So as you see, I'm just to explain more or less what we have done so far is that I explain you the mindset of a right entrepreneur. Yeah. We identify yourself in technology pushes, guys. Yeah. Then when we need to detect our customer segment to start, first one, it was a brainstorming. And then the second one would be to do this table in which we put several customer segments from the brainstorming here. The ones that you think that they are more likely to success according to your instincts, yeah? And you will try to put this a value to these questions, yeah? Row by row, yeah? And again, why these questions and not other questions? So this is based on real life. We detected what startups work and what other startups don't work, yeah? And we created these questions according to or related to the startups that work, yeah? So the startups that work in the past and at least have a lot of these things in common, yeah? So that would be second step, choose the beachhead market. What is the next step? This is an example from the MIT, In Touch, yeah? In Touch was, for example, right now, if you are pregnant and you want to know how your baby is, the only thing that you can do is a heart rate monitor to see if everything is fine. Mother intuition. So I think that he's happy because he's moving a lot. Yeah. Professional ultrasound, or even you can go to Google, yeah, and to say, I'm feeling this way. How is the baby? Yeah. So some guys in the MIT created In Touch. What is In Touch? It was like some sensors that you read to the baby, you put some music to the baby, and the sensor, yeah, tells you if the baby is happy or not. Yeah. The baby that you have inside. Yeah. So of course, what we could do is that let's do all these research to know what would be the best customer segment to start. But after that, we need to define a strategy. Yeah. And this is what they define here. Yeah. So they say, okay, let's start with let's say that, of course, in general, we could say that 157 million women in the US could be our total available market that we could help. Yeah. From them, 6 million get pregnant annually. Yeah. So that makes sense as well. Yeah. But let's start with the first-time moms. Why is that? Because the moms that only have a baby inside and no babies outside, yeah, can focus only on this one. Yeah. But for example, in my case, that I have a baby that is 7 years old, and I have a new baby that is now 5 months old. Yeah. Let's say that I was more worried to the one that it was outside than the one that it was inside. I didn't have time to do that. So I think that this could be excellent for first-time moms. Yeah, as you see. So the next thing that you need to do is to create this kind of strategy. Yeah, about how you're going to expand the business. Yeah. So for example, look, these guys that they were from Germany, they created a herbicide, a green herbicide with less carbon emissions. Yeah. And they said, okay, my beachhead market is going to be the German market for sugar beets. So only a crop field in Germany. Yeah. How they expand? So then they expand to the European market, but only for sugar beets. Yeah. Then let's apply this not only for sugar beets, but for all the potential markets that we have, all kind of crop fields. Yeah. And of course, then let's face the world market. Yeah. So as you see, the first way that they expanded, it was geographical, yeah, from Germany to Europe, yeah, and then it was not expanding geographically. They went to other markets, to other adjacent markets, yeah. So first we grow geographically, and then we grow to other markets, not only sugar beets, all kind of crops, rice, oranges, whatever, yeah, as you see. So what we have done, that this is the third step, is to define the market strategy. So first step, brainstorm. Second step, decide which one is the best one to start. And third one, to define the market strategy. And of course, as you can imagine, for every customer segment, we will need to use our technology to create a specific product for each one. For example, these guys, Spons, they created, well, it was a material that can absorb oil, but not water. So it was a sponge for oil, but not for water. So this is perfect, for example, to clean in industrial environments, yeah? So the first one, it was a powder, yeah? Then they went for construction, and it was a composite that you could put in the same construction. Then they created a fiber, yeah, to sell to the textile company. And then they wanted to create products that they could sell directly B2C. Yeah. So as you see, they were expanding. In this case, they are not showing how they expand geographically. They are going to other markets all the time. But as you see, every market, different product, that it would be the best one for each one of every customer segment. Yeah. Okay. Last but not least, I'm going to introduce you to Solatom. Yeah, Solatom is a startup from the UPB. Yeah, that they created this thing that you can see here. Yeah, basically all good things in life, meat, beer. Yeah, you need for the industrial process to create beer, for example, you need air that it need to be in a high temperature. The way that is done right now is that you put water and a fossil fuel into a boiler, and with that you generate this high temperature air. What is the idea that they had? Was to add these guys that they use these mirrors, yeah, that they reflect the ray light, and when they reflect, they go to this tube that heat the air, yeah, and this way you can save a lot of money in fuels, yeah, in fossil fuels. Yeah, these guys, of course, they did this PhD in this element, yeah, and right now they are really succeeding, because right now you can find these guys in many meat companies in Spain, in Egypt, and in the whole Europe so far. Yeah. Okay, so for example, in their case, they need to create what is the customer segment. So they decided to start with medium companies in the meat sector, as you see. But the beachhead market was the top 30 that you can find in the south of Spain. Why the south of Spain? Because in the south of Spain is the place where you can find more sun. Yeah, and the sun was a key element in this model, as you see. Yeah. So once we have done all this process, we can go to the business model. Yeah, and we can put something in the customer segment. I know, yeah, that I've been talking to you so far right now. I know that I only have 15 minutes. Yeah. But for me, the important thing was that you can acquire more or less the entrepreneurial mindset. You know, more or less, are you understanding what is the process that you need to follow when you want to create a company? Yeah. So this is basically what I wanted to show you. I know that I still have 8 more spaces in the business model, and I would like at least to give you some insight with that. I know that I only have like 17 minutes or 10 minutes to finish the presentation. I know that. But anyway, don't worry, because you have the whole presentation that it's self-explanatory as you saw, yeah, so far, yeah? Okay, but any questions so far, more or less? Understood the process? Yeah, are you more or less happy with the presentation? Yeah, want to know? Yes, okay. So let's go back. So of course, as I told you, we need to fill all the other boxes, yeah, in the model. So value proposition. Basically, all the elevator pitch, all the pitches that I have seen in front of investors have this structure. So Peter is sad. There are 50,000 Peters in Valencia, yeah? But here I am with my solution that it's better than all the other things that you can find, or cheaper than all the other things that you can find in the market. And now the 50,000 Peters are going to be happy, yeah? This is basically the structure of an elevator pitch, yeah? So to do that, we need to define why would anyone buy our product. Of course, it is different in B2C than in B2B. B2C, it can be because you are cheaper or because you are better. And typically, if you are better than the competitors, you're going to be more expensive. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be cheaper and better at the same time. If you are better, it is because they want something better, and if it is something better, they will pay more. Yeah, so that's the reason why I distinguish cheap and better. Yeah, but in B2B, generally, you need to give them an economical benefit. yeah, to your customers, yeah. So in B2B, it's always about an economical benefit. In B2C, it can be cheaper or better, yeah. Okay. So why buy your product? Of course, well, this is exactly what I already explained, but it's here explained. Okay, yeah. Okay, in B2C, you can be cheaper, that is perfectly fine, or better. So there are people who buy the new iPhone because it's new, it's a new technology, and they buy it because it's better, because it's a more technology. Yeah. Then customization, for example, last time that I bought a computer, I bought a computer with a high screen, the fastest processor. Last time that my wife wanted a laptop, yeah, she told me, I want a pink laptop. Yeah. And it's perfectly fine. And I'm not saying that boys want technology and girls want pink stuff. Yeah? I'm just talking about my wife. Like, yeah, it's a specific case. Please, I'm not sexist. Believe me. Yeah. But anyway, some people will pay more for customization. Yeah, as you see. Sometimes it's the user experience or the brand. Yeah. Many people prefer Apple products because the user experience, or just because they are Apple. Yeah. Sometimes it's the cost reduction. What is the cost reduction? Cost reduction is like, okay, I need to do an initial investment that is higher than the competitors, but I know that this will make you that this product, for example, it would last longer. So at the end, I'm saving money, but I need to pay more at the beginning. So it's not cheaper, it's more expensive. But anyway, in a long term, I can save money. Yeah. Or getting the job done, for example, it will be cheaper for me to cook my food. Yeah. But sometimes I prefer to go to a restaurant that is more expensive, but they are doing the job of cooking for me. So it's better. So I will pay more. Yeah. And then, of course, other values of eco, clean, and with the pandemic, also more secure in the way that I receive it. Yeah. Some people were willing to pay more just to make sure that there's no contact with someone, yeah, with the product, for example. Yeah. So that's in B2C. Yeah. In B2B, it's lower cost. So in lower cost, I will have higher margins. I will make more money. Better quality. I can increase the prices, so my customer will pay more, so I will make more money. Reduce capital investment. I'm reducing cost again, so I will make more money at the end. Or improve competitive position is thanks to your green raw material, I can access to the green market. People are aware about climate change, for example, and I will sell my product to them too. So I will have more customers, I will have more money, and I will have more money again. Yeah. So as you see, B2B is like, tell me a story in which I will make more money. Yeah. So this is the way that it works. Yeah. B2C, B2B. Here you have some examples. This one is from the MIT. Yeah. Imagine I'm a triathlete or a marathon runner, and it is really bad when the sun is burning you. Yeah. And you need to put sunscreen when you are running, for example. Yeah. So what they say is that if you are a triathlete, existing sunscreen, go out after swimming. That is the first thing that you do when you do when you are a triathlete. But it says that with extreme sunscreen, it will be effective after all event. Yeah. Or for example, even for marathon, that the existing sunscreen are losing effectiveness through time. Yeah. But with extreme sunscreen, it's going to be 100% effective. Of course, this one that is better, it will be more expensive than the one that is losing effectiveness through time. Yeah, as you can imagine. Well, you have other examples. Yeah. Well, I don't have time to explain you all the examples, but for example, well, this one is from researchers as well. They created a fridge that works with vacuum technology, so that they cool things in a high effective way. Yeah. But the way that they were selling this to their customers was not saying our vacuum technology is super great. No, they were not talking about technology. They were not even talking about carbon emissions, that it would be important too. They were saying that thanks to them, they were going to save money. So right now you're paying 1,500 euros in your electricity bill per fridge in your shop. Yeah. So thanks to me, I'm going to save 1,000 euros in your electricity bill per year, per fridge. Yeah. Again, of course, I'm doing an investment here. For example, if you say that fridge based on vacuum technology, it is 3,000 euros, for example, the price, I don't know, you should explain that the payback is 3 years. Yeah. If I'm saving 1,000 euros every year, I need 3 years of benefit to cover the investment. And after that, yeah, this is one way to explain that is the payback. Yeah. there's other ways you can consider also the change of the value of money, but let's consider that the money doesn't change. Yeah, at least then you know that the payback is going to be 3 years in this case. Yeah, that's important to understand. Well, you have other examples here. Yeah, even for example, I was supporting these guys from Kenya that they were creating these straws made from dried leaves from palm trees. Yeah, and they had even a patent for that. Yeah, as you see. And what they said is that these straws, they were cheaper, even the paper, high, bamboo, or the edible ones. Yeah, they are not cheaper than the plastic ones. Yeah, but as plastic of one single use is being banned in lots of countries, they only needed to show that they were cheaper than all the plastic alternatives. Yeah, as you see. Anyway, you have other examples. Sometimes it's really difficult. Yeah, I had these guys that they wanted to create coffins from upcycled materials. To define a value proposition for them, it was not easy. At the end, we tried to say, okay, you are going to green-minded people, yeah? So let's calculate the carbon emissions of a regular funeral and the carbon emissions of your funeral using your upcycled coffins, yeah? And let's try to go this way to explain that you are better because you are saving carbon emissions. So the way you die is that you will be green also in the way that you die. You were green in the way that you live, you can be green in the way that you die. And this is what they try, yeah? But it's not easy sometimes, yeah? In the case of Solaton, what I can tell you is that what they were saying is that, of course, you can save 5 tons of CO2 emissions, but even something that is more important for them, for the companies, because companies in general, they don't think only in climate, yeah, they think in money, yeah. It was the 2,000 liters of fuel that they can save, yeah, and that was the value proposition. These 2,000 liters, if I can transform it into euros, yeah, into money, that's what they can save every year, yeah, if they use for a 15 kilowatts hour model that you can see here, yeah. Okay, in our case, so the value proposition would be, first of all, saving 2,000 liters of gas oil. Then I will need to translate that into euros, yeah? And of course, this is something that it could be relevant for the company or not, the 5 tons of CO2 emissions that they can avoid as well. But the reason why they're going to buy this is because they save a lot of money in fuels, yeah? This is what we need to do. Again, value proposition is the quantified reason why they choose your products instead of all the other alternatives that you can find in the market. Yeah. So far, so good. Yeah. So now, in only 5 minutes, I'm going to explain the other boxes really fast. At least I will give you, because for me, this is the most important thing. If you can determine a customer segment and the reason why they're going to buy your product, you are really in the right track. And that's the reason why I wanted to give you this conference. Yeah, I to be honest, last night I said, okay, let's finish here. But I said, it's a bit sad that I don't give you at least some insights for the other boxes. Yeah. So in the presentation, you will find everything. Even I have shared a small toolkit that you can, that is like a small template that you can go on, yeah, with all this, yeah. But anyway, customer relationships. Again, you need to define all the channels, how you inform, how they look for you, how they purchase your product, yeah. What is the channel that you're going to use to deliver? And if you're going to put out some after sale. For example, I can tell you that many researchers that create like a product, technology product, they sell the product with a fixed price, but then there is like a maintenance fee for that product, yeah? So in that case, it's like you need to define also how you're going to do this after sale, yeah? That it could be a maintenance fee, as we were explaining before, yeah? Well, I don't have time to show you a lot of examples, but anyway, the other box is customer relationships. So it's going to be personal. In many cases, when you have like a big thing that you're going to sell B2B, you need a sales guy that goes there, that shows the product, that gives you even the possibility to try it, yeah? So personal assistance is important. Dedicated personal assistant is when you have one customer, one employee for every customer, yeah? That sometimes you need to do it like that. Self-service, you can imagine, automatic services, communities, that's amazing. When you have a community, is when, for example, you create a product and you have a community of users that help other users to know how to use your products. Yeah, this is something that it doesn't come when you are a startup. Yeah, It doesn't come when you're a startup, but it could come later in your life. Yeah. And co-creation is when you involve, when your customer get involved in the creation of the product. YouTube, for example, the product, that is the videos, are done by their own customers. Yeah. It's not YouTube the one who generates the videos. Yeah. It's an example. Yeah. Okay. So, well, we should define the channels and the customer. In this case, of course, as we go B2B, we need a salesperson. We need a transport company to transport these big guys to the big product and then they also had a platform to measure energy and carbon emissions. Why is that? Because they wanted to give the customers a platform, an electronic platform, a digital platform where you can see how much energy you have generated, how much money you have created, how much fuel you have saved so far, and also how many carbon emissions you have saved as well. Yeah, you have avoided so far. This is also very important for companies so that they can transmit to customers and also to know that this is working. Yeah, so they created the platform. So the customer relationship was basically a phone from the salesman and the platform. Yeah, were the two ways that they were communicating with customers.
I think he had some problem because he got kicked out from the session. I think, right, Caio? It's.
I think yes, but I think he wanted to stop sharing and maybe click leave.
Yeah, it was possible. Yeah, it's possible. Here he is again.
Jose, you can.
I'm sorry, I'm back. Yeah, it was me. I wanted to go to the next slide, and I press on go out. Yeah.
Yeah, we were thinking so already. Yes.
Yes. Sorry. Well, so basically, yeah. Well, let me go back here. Yeah. So, well, I just explained more or less the channels. Yeah. About resources. Of course, resources could be physical, intellectual, human, financial. It's not the same when you have 50 million euros in your bank account that when you don't have that when you want to create a company, of course. It's not the same when you have the support of the university giving you money, for example. Yeah. But as you see, I put you here several of the most important. Customer lock-in is when you have a contract. Well, customer lock-in is when, for example, you have a product that it can be only used in another product of yours. For example, Nespresso. Yeah. If you wanted to use the Nespresso machine, it has to be with your Nespresso capsules, at least at the beginning. Yeah. So is there any way that you can lock your customer so that they can go to other competitors? Long-term agreements with suppliers, customers, distributors. I would really like to give you a lot of examples here. We will need like a second season of this talk. Yeah. But anyway, maybe someday I will have the opportunity to give you more insights about that. If you are the only one who fulfills the regulation, if branding is important, yeah, and you have the brand that is more powerful, yeah, and also intellectual property. But as you see, I put intellectual property as something that could be important, yeah, but it is better if you can have also this long-term agreement with suppliers, distributors, customers, that it could give you like a better competitive position, yeah. This is the way that I explain it here. Anyway, well, and of course, one that is really important, that is team. You are the perfect team, but if you don't define the team properly in a presentation, maybe an investor will think that you are X times the same person. That's important, yeah? So according to Forbes, they say that to run an efficient team, you need 3 people there. A perfect hipster, that is the designer, a hacker, that is the guy who knows how to solve all the technical problems that you need when you create the product, and the hustler that is the one who knows how to sell that product to someone. Yeah. So the technical guy, the design guy, and the sales guy. Yeah, you need these 3. And according to Forbes, when the hipster brings the creative design, hacker brings the utility belt or the technology solution, and the hustler finds the right way to package it up and to sell it to somebody, that's a combination that is very difficult to beat. Yeah. The only question is that you can have that in your team. Yeah. If you have that, you have a dream team. By the way, of course, hipster can be a boy or a girl. Hacker can be a boy or a girl. This is not gender related. Yeah. And key resources. So in this case, they have a patent, a great team, and some grants and investors that, of course, they wanted to invest in this idea. Yeah. Again, key activities are the things that we do. Yeah. production, problem solving, platform management. Amazon, for example, the platform of Amazon with all the artificial intelligence that they use is managed by Amazon. They don't subcontract that to others, yeah? Distribution, logistics, R&D. So the key activities that we do, we will put it in key activities, and the other activities that we can subcontract to others, we will put it in key partners, yeah? So again, in this case, they do, in Solaton, they do the marketing, they do production of the things, they do the platform management that I explained you to measure energy carbon emission, and they are still doing research and development, yeah? But they have some key partners that in this case is the transport company, yeah? The one who brings these big products to the customer, and also the aluminum provider, yeah? And I don't know who does the maintenance. I don't know if the maintenance is done by them or by the key partner, But we should put also who does the maintenance, yeah, as you see. And last but not least, we have the revenue streams, the way that we make money, and the cost structure. That is the way that we understand the costs that we have in the company. What are the main costs that we have in the company? Yeah. So the revenue could come because we're selling something, because we're renting something, because we are in the middle of a transaction and we obtain our commission, yeah, and even advertising, as you see, yeah. In the case of cost stream, we need to define the difference between fixed cost and variable cost, and we need to define what is the main cost that usually are operating costs, for example, employees, yeah. And again, we will need to define it, yeah? In this case, I just put that it's around 10,000 euros per model. I don't know, to be honest, plus a maintenance fee. I don't know, I just invented it. I need to ask Solaton what is the price of their product, yeah? And the cost structure, material and production costs, of course, IP, patents and all that, and the employees, yeah? But anyway, if you want to really generate something that is relevant, try to quantify almost everything. Quantify all the costs, quantify the value proposition, quantify the market, so that this is a living document that you can use in order to do the next step. Because the next step is to validate, yeah? I don't have time either to explain you how to validate a business model, but that would be like the next thing that we could talk about, yeah? How can I validate that, yeah? And I know that it's time, yeah? So I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Let me see. Where are you guys? Yeah, I think that I'm not sharing the screen. I know that it was a lot. I know that right now you have a lot of information in your minds. I know that. But I hope that it was a bit clarifying as well about the process from having something that is a research or is something that it could be interesting into something that it could be really relevant for a customer segment in a business, yeah? Guys, sorry, because I know that it was a lot, yeah? But at the same time, thank you so much because I saw that you were really paying attention. Thank you so much. And if you need me, you have my email in the first slide, yeah? And thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Israel. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So thanks a lot. Very, very nice presentation. I hope you guys there in Novi Sad you also were able to enjoy it. And well, I have all the slides and all the content. Israel share it with me. I don't know the channel to share this with you guys, and maybe I'll send it to Claudia or send it to the organizers. But yeah, Israel shared like the presentation and some tools with me. So feel free to ask for it, or I will just share it with you guys. So thanks again, Israel. It was very insightful. We are a bit over time, but you guys were also late. So
oh yeah. The 15 minutes that I started late, I took it, of course. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was exactly in 1 hour and 15 minutes as you give me. Yeah.
Exactly.
I was in my time.
So
I need to say. Yeah.
I hope it was interesting for you guys.
Very interesting. Yeah, thank you.
That was very nice presentation, very interesting as well. Thank you very much. I would like to propose one thing for the next presentation. I see that we have Professor Yeroen online, and also Estin is online. So I don't know how is your schedule for today. but it would be okay if we have a break until 11:15 before starting your presentation, or you'd rather start presentation right away?
For me, it's fine.
Okay, because we have.
I think we scheduled 1.5 hours, but I also like to have discussions. So the presentation will not take 1.5 hours.
Okay, yeah, and we can our lunch is scheduled for 12:30, so we also have additional minutes later. So that should be fine. Yeah, and the reason is that we started a bit later, so nothing with Professor Israel presentation. That was absolutely on time. So okay, so see you in 10 minutes if that's okay. Then 11:15 we start again.
Okay, see you.
Thank
See
you
you
very
later, guys.
See you in 10 minutes.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Israel.
Thank you,
Bye
Israel.
bye. Bye bye, Cayo. Bye bye, José Enrique. Nos vemos.
See you later. Hasta luego.
See you later.